Hi, Joe. How you doing, buddy? Let me know if the audio's okay. DW, how you doing? And Alita, Kevin. Fix my screen a minute here. Oops. There we go. There. And Glenn, how you doing? April, Scott, everybody's rolling in. We got 17 people and 10 likes, so make sure you hit the like button. I was a few minutes late trying to get in here. And Justin, what's up? I hope you had a nice Christmas too, Alita. How was everyone's Christmas? Hopefully smooth. Creature, how you doing? Hopefully everybody's went smooth. Tim, how are you? Uh-oh, you're at the camp. And James. Just checking everything still. Yes, Christmas was great this year. It actually was, Joe. My granddaughter actually spent, hey, Dave, 3 days here, which was really a lot of fun. My daughter and her came to stay. So we had a great time. And Lloyd, how are you? Looks funny. I'm trying to get it clear. I was in the garage today, but no filming. I had to fix my sunroof. Hi, Roger. How are you? I think somebody on the 68 before I had gotten a hold of it. Fernando, how are you? The sunroof would come to almost close, but wouldn't lift up in the back, so I had to fix that. Thankfully, it didn't need new cables as of yet. But I didn't. I knocked off filming. We did the Christmas cottage tour, and over the next 3 days, I'll be releasing what I always call a yearly review, like what I had done all year. Gives me a little bit of a break just around the holidays, before I jump back into it. And then it's, I don't know, 6, 7 videos a month for a year. So I do take a little break, but I'm going to go ahead and start. I got a lot going on over the weekend. I'm going to go ahead and do the video that I did last year, like what all happened in 2024, like what all videos did I do. And obviously, I condense it down into like a 30-minute video and just do little shorts throughout. It's kind of fun to do. Hey, Tim, awesome. I'm glad. I'm glad you're wearing a shirt. Wow, was that clear back in Halloween when you won that? Wow, that went quick. It seemed like it just happened. But yeah, I'm going to do the year in review, and then I'm going straight to the interior of the car when I start going back to filming the following week. It'll be easier. Hi, Jonathan. Spurgeon materials for the seats, my bus. Are there any good videos for installation? I'm sure they are if you search around for that. I didn't do a video on on reupholstering the seats, and the reason is now I'm going to have to reupholster my back seat, but you'll already be done before I do that because I put custom seats in the front, them Scout Pro cars. But I didn't do a video yet on that. I will, but you're probably going to be done before I do that, I imagine. But I am doing the interior. I've decided to. I fixed the sunroof today. Hi, Dawn. How are you? And I got that done. And like I said, I didn't film it. Hey, Neil. And we have 35 people, but only 18 likes. So please hit the like button. It really helps the algorithm a lot, folks. Amelia, how are you? I actually messed with the sunroof today, and I thought I'm not going to film it, which I probably should have because it showed how to adjust your sunroof if, in fact, it comes off track, with the winding of the crank and how it jumps up in the back to close. But I probably could do a video on it. I don't know how many people would really need to see that, though. But I did it in like 20 minutes. It wasn't hard to do. Somebody apparently before me had messed with the sunroof, which I don't know why they would take that apart and do that, you know. Thank you, Alita. Yes, the like button makes a big deal. That's what gets the video out there. And the more you hit like on a video, YouTube recommends it more. If people don't hit likes, then they're not recommended and they slowly fade away and then the channel becomes crap. You know, the whole ordeal. But yeah, always make sure to hit the like button in live chat or the videos that I do. It makes a huge difference. It really, really does. But yeah, I did the sunroof today and got that done. Hi, Bill. How are you? Another Pennsylvania guy. And that's done. So I'm going to, in about a week here, when I go back to filming, I'm going to do the headliner because I can salvage it. So I'm going to go ahead and clean and dye it. Normally, I just replace the headliners. But this time around, I won't need to. I'm going to paint the dash, the heater channels, the door jambs, you know, the AB pillar. So I'll be filming that. Sound deadener, get the other seat made up, throw the carpet down, and making it all sound easy. And then put the custom seats in. And it'll come along pretty quick that way. I may have to film closer together to get it done a little faster. I got to remember to run my main brake line before I put the carpet down. I did that once before. I like running it under the carpet though. But there's a lot coming up this year. A lot. Hi Betsy, how are you? There's a ton coming up. There really is. And then the least part that I like is I'll have to seal off the interior and then sand down and start painting. You know, before you know it, I'll be putting the transmission in. It'll go pretty quick after that. It may look like an old shell sitting there right now, but the last time I did a vehicle on YouTube, Heather kept saying, my God, you're never going to get done. Well, when you're filming, it slows everything down 100%. And then before you know it, I was done with the car. It's kind of weird. Radio, I haven't decided on yet. I actually have 2 AM radios, 2 original VW radios that do work. I was going to use them, but I'm probably going to shuffle them onto the marketplace. I never really put the stock radios in. It's either retro sound or I may hide a single DIN radio in the glove box and just throw a USB stick in it, you know. But I do have 2 AM radios sitting here. I don't know. I forget which ones they were now, to be honest with you. Blawpunk. It wasn't Blawpunk. They're the original VW radios, though. But it's did anybody else get anything for their Volkswagens at Christmas time? I have so many parts stockpiled that I actually had taken some and put them in the house in the game room because I started running out of space. You know what I mean? But I had a JVC before I really liked Alita, in all honesty. I had a sponsor reach out to me and said, would you like one of our radios if you do a video? Here I was kind of like reading quickly in the email, not paying attention. And I thought it was Retro Sound or whatever their name is. And I thought, oh, what a lifesaver. No, it was some weird company and it had the big DVD screen. And I'm like, no, I'm not hacking my dash up. It's my 68, the dash is like perfect on it. And it's a wonder nobody hacked the radio opening up. But thankfully, nobody did, you know. But I think the retro sounds, I don't know. They're pretty expensive from what I understand. I can't remember now. Somebody just put that on our group on Facebook recently. They bought one. They're beautiful, but they're very expensive. I got my VW Nags with pictures of buses and bugs. Oh, cool. Outstanding. Actually, I wanted to do another T-shirt, something a little different. So I've been messing around with that a little bit. Heather always does the final, you know, pattern and does everything before we send it in. But somebody had asked recently about a calendar, and I think I am going to do that, but I got to like hurry up and do it because 2025 is around the corner. Although I've bought calendars for the following year, 2 months in, but I was going to try to get a photo of everybody, with their cars and stuff and have it on each month, and I thought that'd be pretty cool. So I'm definitely considering that rapidly. Oh, Kevin got a VW calendar for Christmas. Nice. I got a box of new parts, new taillights, new clutch cable with a 6-shooter and a throttle cable. Oh, nice, James. Outstanding. And the boss got me repair panels for the doors and bought a tunnel gasket and mounting bolts kit. I'm going to keep her. That's cool, Tim. Oh, and Alita got a calendar also. As I said, I don't know whether to do them or not because I kind of waited a little, you know what I mean? Picked up an original ashtray for my 783 Carmen. Grandsons didn't know what an ashtray was. Oh, I'll bet, Thane. Yeah, I guess because I guess none of the cars have them now, from what I understand. The newest one that I seen, I mean, I have a Grand Cherokee right now that's almost new. Obviously, there's no ashtray in it. But I had a 2006 or 7 Mercedes E-Class at one point, and it had an ashtray in it, which was weird. It was really big. I don't know if you're supposed to like smoke a cigar or something with it, but nothing Christmas for the VWs, but I did get some tools and some racks to organize my cordless tools. Oh, that's cool, Justin. Awesome. I actually didn't, my kids, Heather, were all like, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want for Christmas? But I don't really need anything, and I'll pull trigger on a welder, torn between what size to go with. I didn't really need anything this year, although I did get stuff, obviously. But, and Tim, if you're going to buy a welder, buy the best that you can. You know what I mean? I'm not a good welder. I got to start practicing. I have one of them Yes welders, which are really good welders with the tank and the whole ordeal. And I set it all up, but I didn't weld yet, which I'm going to have to soon because I got to weld a patch in the luggage compartment, a small one, and I got to weld a few of them little lugs on for the bolts to hold the fenders on. I don't know. I guess I got to weld the front apron on. So yeah, I got a little welding to do. I don't like welding. Hi, Glenn. Kids don't even know whether they're plugging their chargers into the cigarette lighter. Yeah, you know what? I still call it that because the Jeep that I bought Heather, the rear part of it, the hatchback area, so to speak, it has one of them. They call them power ports now, I guess. But to me, they're because I said something to her like, "Oh, I got a cigarette lighter port in the back." Now I'm sure everybody knew what I meant, but I still call it that. It is the same thing, I believe. You aren't going to never change that. I actually have, and I got to find it. I have an old cigarette lighter for VWs. So I was thinking I don't smoke, but still, hi, Kevin. I was going to put it in there anyhow because I thought it would be cool. You know what I mean? And I did pick up a ashtray out of a 67 so that, because I did away with the padded dash for the 68. And hey, Mike, how are you? I got the metal ashtray for it. So I don't really have a lot more to buy for mine except the end part where I'll need tires and a battery, some stupid things, some motor mount, stuff like that. I have a lot of the stuff out of the way. I keep hearing good things about Vulcan welders from Harbor Freight, thinking about trying out one. Oh, you know what, Mike? I do know somebody that bought one of them. Maybe it was a green one. Maybe it was titanium or something, or was it Vulcan? You'll have to enlighten me on that. Somebody bought one from Harbor Freight, one of their better ones like that, and they love it. I mean, they sent me that Yes welder a while back, and I watched some videos. They work great. They do MIG-TIG aluminum stick, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't start it up or mess with it yet. I turned it on, adjusted everything, and I just never did anything with it yet, which I need to now because it's coming to that time. I'm going with a 40, debating between 190 ASDs with MIG, TIG, and stick. 220 DC would just make it stick, but able to run TIG down the road. Yeah, you know what, Tim? Like I said, when you're buying, and you already know this, when you're buying stuff like that, get the best that you can afford is the way I can put it. I ran a 220 line in my garage because I ran a sub panel in there, because the welder I got will run on 110 or 220, but from my understanding, 220, you get a lot more oomph, I guess, so to speak. I bought an Eastwood 141 MIG TIG stick. It's been wonderful and affordable. Oh, okay. Eastwood seems to put a lot of good products out, in all honesty. I haven't been on our website lately, but Eastwood does put a lot of good products out, but I'm sure you folks know that already. I use an MP40 Eastwood. Love it. Yeah, the green ones are the Vulcans. Okay. Where I got the name titanium from, who knows? Yeah, I seen those up there, and I did see a video a while back where somebody was using one of them, and they loved it, Mike. It worked quite well. I'm not a good welder, but then again, I've only welded with flux core all the time, so maybe I won't be as bad when I fire the gas up. I hate using a word that way. Hey, Lord Mark, how are you? Well, we got 42 people and 30 likes, so who's ever missing it, hit the like button, please. Michael, the only thing that spooks me is the warranty on Harbor Freight welders. I love my Lincoln for MIG. Yeah, the Vulcan was orange. Yeah, I couldn't remember. What was the green one then? There's a green one. I don't know what I'm thinking of now. Titanium is green from Harbor Freight. Okay, Joe, I just seen your post now. Yeah, you know what? Titanium or the green ones from Harbor Freight. I never bought one yet, but some guy was in there the one day, and a long story short, I was going to buy welding wire from Harbor Freight, but then I ran to Home Depot and bought Lincoln wire. But some guy was there talking about the green ones, which was the titanium, and how much he liked it. If you're primary welding sheet metal, you don't need 220. Most of my stuff, Glenn, is sheet metal, what I'm doing, in all honesty. But it was easy to throw the 220 plug in just because my sub panel was right there. So it was almost too easy to wire up. But I got to start practicing welding. I even got some sheet metal from the salvage yard. It was the roof off of a Beetle that was just mangled. So I had good to practice on that metal. My jack was green. The Vulcan I wanted was orange. I'm good. I'm like number 29. Hey, Lily, go. Give me it. I'm sorry, she's grabbing a cat's toy. Get out of here. Go. And hi, Slade. Been watching you for years. Hi, Mike. Welcome aboard, Mr. Chari. And Tim, everything welder. I'm here. Good evening. Said Dale, how are you, my friend? We got 41 people in here and 36 likes. That's pretty good. I have a big snap-on MIG welder. I bought small grain titanium flux core from Harbor Freight. It's pretty much a piece of crap, but it was only like 120. Yeah, the last one I had. Hey, Darren, how you doing, bud? The last one I had was a flux core, was Harbor Freight, and I can't say it was horrible. I'm not a good welder. I guess to do that, I would have to actually practice, and I don't. But the Harbor Freight flux core welder was like $100 or something. I can't remember. And one of my buddies used it briefly, when he was here and tried it. And obviously it worked much better for him than it did me. But I don't have enough welding time, you know what I mean? And hi, Bill. If you're on your phone, you have to X out of the chat, hit the like, and then just rejoin the chat. I appreciate that very much. The welding, I guess, I've watched some videos on it recently, since I know I will be welding soon. Very soon, actually. As soon as I'm done with the headliner and dash, I have to weld a patch near the rear of the floor, near the luggage compartment, and then I'll sound deaden and put carpet down. But I tried welding, and I don't know. It's something you really have to get the knack for. And I had a lot of people tell me, go to community college, take some classes and all that, but I just don't have the time. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. Yeah, Lita, it is tricky. You got to get used to it. And I, Lily, come here, lay down, lay down. I'm busy, so she's gonna act up. Welding is tricky. I mean, I don't have the time to go take classes. 60 years old. I've done all kind of stuff throughout my life, mechanical, but I just never had the weld, So, and I'm still debating on the rear apron. I wanted to do a removable rear apron because I think it would just be easier in the long run. I'm going to be running Nerf bars, which Heather hates. And that way, if I want, I can pop the rear apron off. I have 2 Nerf bars, so there's no bumper blade, and it's so easy for me to get to everything. I'm pre-planning aggravation is what I am. But a lot of people actually have been clamping, it between the fender where it should be, and then they tighten their fender up and it holds their apron. And I'm not against it, but I kind of wanted to do some type of quick clips, something that I could click, and then pull the apron off, which would require me welding on some elbow brackets, which is really not a big deal. But I got to get serious about the interior and get it just wiped out and finished so that I can go ahead and start the outside. The quarter panels are done. The doors are done, I should say, in primer. What else did I get done? I think that was it on the bodywork side right now. But bodywork is time consuming. It really, really is. And when you're filming, you have 4 hours of filming and you end up with 30 minutes of video sometimes because you have to chop it all up. If not, it gets boring to watch. But I hope everybody got their list ready for the new year, because I got a list made up in the garage in order of how I'm going to do stuff. And I never normally do that. But I want to stay on track, so I can get a lot done. I'm a welder. Use that yes welder. You will never use flux core again. Thanks, Dell. They sent it to me a little while back and said, would you like to give it a try? So I got very excited. 205DS, I think, Dell is what it was called. I don't know how I remember that number, so I could be wrong. I thought it was a 205D as in David, S as in Sam welder. From what I've watched people doing on YouTube, they love that welder. I went out and got the argon mix, and everything is set up. I just need to dial everything in on it now. But I might, maybe I'll be a little happier when I try it and be shocked. You know what I mean? But let me see here. I never welded for, bought a flux core cheap. Yes, used it. Bought the E-split in a tank, 75-25. Yeah, that's what mine was. And so much easier. See, that's what I'm counting on, Glenn. When I did lay down some welds with the flux core, but it was just, then I was looking for my grinder, and then it was bubble gumming on me. Like I was having a lot of trouble. But now I've never used gas before. So yeah, right, Justin. And that's the thing. It should be a game changer for me. Not that I'll be a pro at it, but maybe I'll go, oh, okay, now I'm going to get somewhere with this. They make pop rivets, Mego and sheet metal is pretty forgiving if you just gather scrap sheet metal and practice. Reference what range you need for the thickness. Make sure you got the right gas and wire, then spin. I think I have Mike 0.023. I have 23 wire. Whatever somebody recommended for body sheet metal, I think it was 23. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it, because there was like 31 or 32 I had. I can't remember now. I'm not in the garage. So I grabbed 23. I think that's what I was told to do. And we'll see how that works. Like I said, I got the roof off of a Beetle. And okay, Glenn, it's 23. I know it's 23. It was the Lincoln wire from Home Depot. So I have that in the machine ready to roll. I just need to roll it. But, I figured the metal I got from the other Beetle, because the Beetle was just smoke. There was nothing left of it. but the roof is always good on them. So my buddy cut the roof off of it and brought it to me in 2 pieces and said, here, if you need metal instead of buying that new junk, cheap, thin metal, here's a roof for you. So I've been using that metal for odd things along the way. I'm actually, maybe this coming week I'll start doing some welding. I have the hiccups. Oh, goody. But I at least want to try and see what it comes out like. My other buddy said, you're good at fabricating. Get the metal ready, fabricate it, and I'll stop by and weld it. I'm like, if I get that frustrated, I'll have you do that temporarily until I get used to it. You know what I mean? But it's just the only thing. I've used torches, all kind of stuff. I like torches. I'd like to have a nice set of them, but I just never had the weld before. And even when I was a mechanic at the shop, we had a guy that did all of our welding. We had a guy that rebuilt transmissions. I would just pull them. And honestly, I just never had to do the welding before. What is a good beginner's welder if you've never welded before? I don't know. I'm trying to yes welder, Darren. They're very inexpensive, but like they were saying earlier, that Harbor Freight, has the, Darren, Lincoln 120 MIG. There we go. Harbor Freight has some too, but I should have in the beginning have bought a good welder and just stopped messing around. But I guess it was good I waited, because that yes welder, they got a hold of me and said, would you like to try it? I'm like, well, yeah. And I got to do a video for them, I guess. Kentucky, you probably won't be doing much heavy welding on the body. Sheet metal, mostly just tack, 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 so you don't warp the metal. Yeah, exactly. I was watching a guy do that, Kentucky. He was a couple tacks here and there, and then he had his blowgun and was immediately hitting it with air, to cool it down. So, yes, I do know about that. Find a good secondhand one to learn about. Duty cycle. Yeah, that's what I said, Mike. I need to, and I know you might have been talking to Darren there, I need to watch some more videos on it. And I don't know about the settings that well. I'm going to have to get the feel of those. I got a nice Hobart 140 at Tractor Supply for my work. It is nice. It works pretty nice. Actually, Tractor Supply was just in there a couple weeks ago again. I think right before Christmas. And hey, Uncle Bon, how you doing, brother? And I was walking through, and then I started staring at their compressors. I'm like, ooh. I thought, I got to get out of there, because I have my Tractor Supply credit card in my wallet, and I thought, I got to leave right now. They have some really, really nice compressors, like, 50-gallon, because I have a 21-gallon. I could use an LVLP gun and spray with it, but it's still kind of, thank you for the donation, chat. Thank you, Uncle Bon. I appreciate that, brother. I really did. Thank you very, very much. I wanted a bigger compressor, but there's a lot that's coming into play right now with that, because my garage, I need more space. Somebody came today to buy a metal dash plate off of me for a Beetle, and he even looked and said, hi, Lisa. He's like, wow, your garage looks bigger on film, because mine's actually a 14 by 23. So honestly, my garage is not that big, but it's fine. It works. You know what I mean? And hey, number one. And no, 20 wouldn't make him more popular. That was very kind. I appreciated that, Uncle Bon. And number one, obviously, is just joking. But I honestly, there's like a lot going on right now, so I'm not buying too many bigger items right now, and for a lot of reasons, But let me see. The Hobart 220 volt is one of the most popular road scene. Seem to be a great welder and dependable. I've never had a Hobart yet. I mean, I've heard all good about them. And was seeing what Lily was chewing on. I think Hobart probably would be something to jump into, in all honesty, if somebody needs a good welder. I mean, hey, Jorg, how you doing? We've been out looking at Christmas lights in the various neighborhoods tonight. Good times. You know, Heather and I were going to do that, and we still didn't, George, because we were going to drive about a half hour, 40 minutes out, and start looking at lights and work our way back. But it's not too late. Hopefully, people are still lighting everything up. Heather and I did that last year. I was just trying to hoping for a little snow while we did it, but we haven't had much luck with that yet this year. Get a good auto darkening helmet. Yeah, I have one from Harbor Freight, so hopefully it's okay. You know what I mean? And Lord Mark, good night, bud. You leaving already? I hope you have a great upcoming New Year, my friend. Mrs. Claus and little mistletoe tattoo. She's actually getting some stuff done in the other room tonight. It was a hectic holiday, so I told her, "Don't worry, you don't have to be on tonight." She had a lot going on. We were supposed to get out in the yard today and get stuff done because Otto, what's up? Thank you. I appreciate you hitting the like button. We got so much to do this weekend because it's going to 60, and then after that, it'll go back down into 50 below zero. But I got a lot to get done in the yard with Heather. So tomorrow and Sunday, we're going to get as much done as we possibly can before the weather takes a dip. I think Sunday, Justin and Ashley, Justin's on here right now. They're stopping over for a little bit on Sunday. So we're going to take a break, have coffee with them, and then go back to work. We're trying to squeeze everything in while the weather's decent. And you see, Glitter Elf Gnome Organization. What's that, Lisa? If I can answer it, I will. I was hoping for some snow so that we could have rode around and looked at decorations and lighting, but it's how it is. It got hectic. Thank you for the donation, Neil. Thank you very, very much. I really, really appreciate that very much. And Dave said Eastwood has great customer service. That's funny, Dave. I see a lot of, well, not funny. I see a lot of Eastwood stuff on YouTube come up. I don't know if it was on our own channel or what. I can't remember. But they do have a lot of good products, and they honestly do. The numbers on the keys are the code of the key or just a number of what the key is. You know what? Whenever I had my keys made, I used Justin. Well, not the Justin that's in here. My buddy Justin. You can shoot me a message, Lisa, and I can give you his phone number. He's a VW locksmith and an all-around locksmith. I didn't even have a key to my Beetle, and boom, I have original sets of keys now. The number on the key itself, I don't know if that's the actual code because I pulled one of my door handles and took a code off of there. Thankfully, my door handles matched my ignition. If not, we'd have went a different route. And he banged the keys out, threw them in the mail to me. I PayPal'd him. He was very reasonable and fast. And Justin Bogman's his name. He's on our group. And he banged me keys out. But I don't think the key code is on the key. I don't believe that's it. Yep, we'll be there. I'll call you tomorrow to set up a time. Yeah, sounds good, Justin. Absolutely. By the way, anybody see huge sell on CIP1 carburetors? I'm sure everything else is 43% off. No, I didn't see that. I haven't. The last week has been a blur for me. I haven't been online as much because I've been trying to do family time, but I didn't see that they had a big sale. I had no idea, but 43% off? That's like really crazy. Oops, back on the road. More lights to see. Enjoy yourself, Jorg. I'm jealous. We were supposed to do that and we didn't do it yet, although we will very shortly before people take them down. I wish the temp would fall to zero. Last 2 years, late season camp has been warm and rainy. Yeah, that's what it's been here. It's been kind of rainy and really cold, and then it dips right back up to being warmer, and then we have mud everywhere. Ugh. And that's usually when Lily wants to go out and play. Unbelievable. We're in a process of moving, and I think I packed my keys. Oh no. Okay. Lisa, shoot me a message on Facebook and I'll tie you in with Justin real quick because truthfully, if you get a hold of him and let's get it figured out, he'll tell you what to do to get it figured out with him. It'll only be 2, 3, 4 days tops, and you have the keys in your mailbox. He's really good at what he does. I can't believe you packed your keys. That is some crap I would do. I swear to God. But I hope you're having a good time, Tim. I do. Marionville's one of the ones that I looked into, and then I got weirded out because the camps and the houses were real cheap, and I'm like, oh, that must be bad there. And my buddy's like, no, it's not bad. There's just nowhere to work, stuff like that, which is fine with me. But I couldn't figure out why a lot of the stuff was reasonable there. And then I seen some stuff the other night in Linesville, places like that, and the prices are like really, really good. It's almost scary on some of the places, although I know they're perfectly fine. Nothing's wrong. I guess it's a thing to do with country, probably not as much work. The stores aren't close. Maybe there's a lot that comes into play uh, when houses are cheaper or there's a double wide on property, wooded. I guess there's a reason why, those houses are cheaper. But my brain right away went to, it's probably a bad area. When the only thing around is probably deer running around, But yeah, I got a list I made up. You may hear banjos and Mario, but you should be pretty safe. I seen a movie like that once. It wasn't a good outcome. For all I know, I've probably been to Marionville and didn't know it because Heather and I used to travel up north a lot, where you're at, Tim, right above us, to Cook's Forest and all them areas up there. We would take long rides for the whole day with a bunch of kids in my Durango. That was fun because somebody always had to pee or they were hungry. And, I think Scott, who's in chat here, he went with us one time for a long ride. That's a personal friend of mine. And we had a blast. But we ended up somewhere, and I won't name the area because somebody gets butthurt about it. It was in a different state, and that was a pretty odd place to get lost in. Although Heather thought it was funny, I didn't. But yeah, I actually made up a list, something I'd never done before. I usually kind of wing it when I'm doing a project, but this time I made up a list exactly in the order that I want to do everything coming up now, and it all just made sense to me. I just did 20 miles along the river in Cook's Forest on my gravel bike today. Oh, wow, that's cool. Cook's Forest is beautiful. Oh, my. I mostly see a lot of mobile homes or double wides, which I have no problem with that. I need a garage, though. But we still talk about moving time to time. And then some days I think, I'm 60 years old. I really want to move all my crap and wished I could hire movers. That would be nice. But I have a lot of people that said, we'll help you move. Don't worry. And I know they mean well. And then when I talk about moving, usually as it gets pretty serious, like the real estate agent gets involved to give me an estimate of my house, that's when Heather starts going, I don't know. And yeah, moving's not easy as you get older. I know that part, but I wish that I had a bigger garage, and that's not to sound selfish, but I always try to think about building one maybe onto my house that's big, but we'll see as time comes. Lisa, are you moving far? Because I know you said about moving. You're a lot younger than me, though. As you get older, moving seems fun if you could just snap your fingers and it's already done. But yeah, I got a whole list made up in order because I need my car done by the spring. Not even just for the upcoming meet this year, but grab that cat. Wow, how did you spot her? Come here, baby. Come here. Come on. She has a little scratching thing there that, there we go. We did our 400-mile move at 64. Oh, thanks, Glenn. Now I feel better. I give you credit. I mean, oh, you're moving next door. Well, that's not too bad. I honestly, I'm sure once I would start boxing and getting stuff ready, I talked to the real estate agent that was here. She was very, very nice. And what are you doing? Want to look at the camera? Hmm? She's been a great cat. She's 5 months now. Love the rag dolls. I was a mover for 10 years. No need for a gym. Oh, I'll bet, James. I've watched guys. We got some furniture recently. I donated our furniture to a couple that was young, having a baby. I can't tell. Everybody looks like little kids to me now, but they were probably just maybe in their early 20s. But at first I thought, why is that kid driving? But they were probably a little older. And we got new furniture, and I was watching them take it off the truck and carry it in, and I'm like, ugh. I have good stamina being in the garage doing stuff, but then when it's the moving thing, I'm like, yuck, I don't feel like doing all that crap. But you were a mover for over 10 years. That wasn't very much fun. I'm the same way. I talk a lot about moving early, but I really don't want to start over when I'm almost done paying my mortgage. Besides, moving over 50 is not easy. No, it's really not, in all honesty. I don't know if this will make sense or sound really weird, but you're like moving your energy. You're like starting over, and I talked to my older daughter, the one that came with the baby and stayed with us for 3 days, which was awesome. And she got a little weird about it. She's like, if you want to move, you move, blah, blah, blah. And she was so sweet talking about it. And then she's like, but this is home. And I know what she means, but they are building. I'm sure Justin on here can verify that with me, possibly. They're ripping everything down around us and just building, 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 building. And now it's becoming noisy and traffic. And it's like, it wasn't like that when I moved here 14 years ago. It's getting really hectic where I live. Let me see here. Slade, that movie Deliverance was filmed not too far from me. Where I went to college. Burt Reynolds ended up having a house there, him and Lonnie Anderson. I was always hoping Burt Reynolds would have got together with Sally Fields. I don't know where that came from. That movie Deliverance, I watched that. I thought for some reason that was filmed in West Virginia, but no, it was further south. I had no idea. I think Burt Reynolds passed away. No, I can't remember. I think he did, which is kind of a bummer. We're building a small town, USA. Oh, you know what, number one? I seen that email that you sent me, and that was kind of interesting. All them little houses in that town. That actually wasn't a bad price for all that you got there. It was like building your own town. I thought that was pretty cool. I'd have to get a lot of VW people together, and then all the houses are there. You just buy the town. I thought that was pretty cool. I give movers credit. I hate moving my own crap, let alone someone else's. Yeah, I'm not big on lifting all that stuff. But then again, I am getting older. I can't even feel the ground anymore that I walk on. My back's goofy. But, that's pinched nerve. But moving someone's stuff or even my own, I'll help somebody if I have to. But it's like, ugh. So you installed your sunroof, did 1 year ago. Getting both sides to work together was a challenge. Yeah, you know what, Kevin? When I did my first one, I didn't film it when I did the cables on the first eventful thing on YouTube with the Super Beetle. But I bought new cables from Wolfsburg West because they're made in-house. They're very nice cables. Wow, you should have heard the words I created while I was doing that sunroof. I'm like, this is sick. But then I got used to it. And when I got the 68 Kevin, it would almost close, but didn't close completely and jump up in the back. And today I was up the garage cleaning up. I was waiting for Jerry to get here, a club member I met from Ligonier out past me, super guy. And I was talking to him. He came to pick up a part. And I thought, maybe I'll mess with this sunroof. it all came together too easy. I'm thinking I should have filmed that because people probably need to know how to adjust them once in a while if they come out of adjustment. You know, if the cables stretch a little, I probably should do a film on that. And I just was in such a good mood. I had the radio blasting and I was messing with it. And I'm like, I should have filmed that. And I moved my 6.7 bug and Sinister, no rockers, one floor pan, non-running. That was my welding teacher. Well, you know, and that's a thing, Glenn, is when it comes to moving, you know, you brought that up with, you know, floor pan. I have Heather's Beetle sitting here. There's no floor pans. Yes, it can be towed. It was towed here with a tow bar. I don't know if I do that on a highway. Then I got my 68, which would be done by spring if we did move, so that's not an issue. But it's like moving all my crap. My garage alone, the stuff in it. Ugh, I couldn't imagine moving that. Squeal like a pig. April, I didn't expect that out of you. I'm just kidding. I forget, was that the Ned Beatty? Or I think that was his name. I can't remember. Yeah, that movie, I remember seeing that when I was young, and I was like, whoa, stay where you're living. Okay, 2018. I thought he passed away, Lisa. Last time I seen him, that Richard Rawlings guy that does the car stuff, he was at the end of his driveway trying to talk to him, and I guess Burt Reynolds walked down for his mail or something. He had a cane and was hunched over. I thought, I didn't want to see him that way, but Richard Rawlings showed it, and I don't think he wanted to be bothered by him either, I could tell. I'm thinking about replacing the floor pans with 6-inch slingshot. You recall the price of the floor when you did yours. James, if you mean the floor pans, they're expensive now. If that's what you meant. Yeah, floor pans, you recall the price of the floor when you did yours. I think now you're good $500 for pans. I don't know if there's freight shipping on top of that, but I didn't look because I'm going to ask Evan. I thought he had some floor pans I could probably buy off of him for Heather's car, but the floor pans went up in price. I forget who, but somebody just put it on our group recently on Facebook. Within the last month, they did floor pans, and they highly recommended wherever they bought them. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look. But they said they were really thick, nice floor pans that fit perfect. And I thought, oh, I got to write that down. And I didn't. So I'm going to have to scroll for 3 years to find the post. But truthfully, I really, really would like to get high quality floor pans because we only want to do them once, brother. I moved in our way from my hometown 2 years ago to be with Diana. And even though her and I am home, Knoxville always my home. So I understand your daughter's line of thought. Yeah, Tim, she did say to me, Dad, you just need to move and be happy, do what you want to do. And she is such a kind soul. She's such a sweetheart. She'll be 28 or 29 in March. I think 29. Wow, my memory's getting worse. And then she did pause, though, and said, this is home. And I know, because she grew up here, so I know that's hard. Deliverance, great movie. It was a good movie, in all honesty. But it educated me a lot. Ned Beatty, okay. I think he's another one we lost, too, possibly. I never want to visit those woods. No, I don't know how realistic that could be, but I'm sure they made it for a reason. Oh, that's right. John Voight was in there. Wow, he was really young in that. John Voight, Bart was young. Wow, that must have been a while ago. Time to go, everyone. Have a good evening. Hey, good night, Scott. I'll see you tomorrow, brother. Give me a shot around noon to give me an update, and then we'll hook up then. Thanks for being in here, brother. I hear banjos. One of the best live a movie. You sure got a pretty mouth. Ouch. Key code is usually on the passenger door handle. Yeah, that's if that's nobody ever changed them compared to the ignition. That's the only problem you can run into. I was lucky on mine. If you look in my videos, you'll see it says Oh, scroll through my videos. You'll find one that says something about keys, VW keys, and codes and stuff, and you'll see it, Lisa. But I just pulled a door handle, got the code, and I thought, I hope nobody changed the handles, and they do a lot. And here it did match the ignition, so I got really lucky on that. From what I understand, that's where it says best pans. I could be wrong. You could be right, Otto, in all honesty. I just forget who posted that about floor pans, and I thought, oh man, that I got to get those. This guy was showing them, and they were thick. It could have been Whispered West, in all honesty. You have to take the handle off. Yeah, you got to remove the handle. I'll have to guide her to the video because I did a video to show that. My definitely are all aftermarket. Okay, Lisa, just shoot me a message later, honey, and I'll tie you up with Justin in summary. And he'll take care of you. There's no doubt. He is an excellent locksmith, especially when it comes to VW stuff. I worked at Country Club up there one summer in college. Worked landscaping with locals. They didn't appreciate us college guys, and I wasn't going to let them appreciate me. That was a way of wording it. On the videos I've watched for where we're being used, everyone says how nice they fit. Yeah, and that's a big thing, Tim. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, I know we have to fabricate a lot of stuff now, and I don't mind fabricating. I just take my time and get it to where I need it to be. But when you buy like floor pans or fenders, things like that, it makes life so nice when they fit great because somebody did in the club recently buy floor pans from somewhere. I'm not sure where, although I think I know where it was. And wow, they had to hack the crap out of them to get them to fit right. How hard is it to pull the ignition switch and start with a screwdriver? I think I could pop one of them pretty easy, Justin. They're not that hard to get out of there. Message already. Okay, I'll check out Lisa when I get off live chat. Promise you. Hardest way. Yeah, they're not hard to. I don't use the word steal, but you know what I mean. Hey, Clinton, how are you? We had a great Christmas. I hope you did, my friend. Yeah, if your handles match, you're golden. If they don't match, then they're not. The key won't match the ignition. We'll get you through it, Lisa. That's not a problem. And Justin will treat you right. He's a really good guy, a VW guy. He just happens to be a locksmith, so we kind of got him in our court, which is really good. But mine, I got lucky with. Heather, I got lucky. I got the keys to that car, that blue one that I got for her. So I'm really, really happy about that. Hey, Dave, how did you like that epoxy primer? I believe it might have been Eastwood. I think so. Pretty sure. Let me know how you like that because I see that had the catalyst where you hit the button on the bottom. That's the spray, the 2K Clear Spray Max has that same thing that I bought where you smack the bottom, for the catalyst and all that. So I was wondering how you liked primer. I didn't use the epoxy style catalyst primer yet out of a can, but spray cans have come so far now. Like, I cannot believe the quality of some of the stuff in a can now. In about 3 weeks here, tops, I'll be spraying the 2K Clear with the hardener, I call it, built in when you smack the little button on the bottom. Because I got to paint my dash and the heater channels and all that. I got to get that nonsense, the headliners out of the way. But I seen that Dave was using I think it was Eastwood primer, and I didn't know that they had that way from Eastwood. So I might think about trying that. But honestly, the 2K Clear, it's not cheap. I think it's like $25 a can now. So thankfully, we're only doing a Beetle, so it won't be horrifying, having our family Christmas party tomorrow around Good New Year earlier. Hey, Kevin, Happy New Year. I hope you have a great, great time. I really do. We don't do much on New Year's. I pick out what pajamas I'm going to wear. get on the couch, kick back. Hi, Jamie. How you doing? What do you think of Gia concept? Ever go in production? I don't know what you mean, the Gia concept. I'm sorry. I can't think of what you mean. Gia concept that ever go in production. Yeah, I can't think what you mean. You'll have to help me out there. Eastwood has a roll-on primer that's supposed to be good. In Kentucky, hey, Miss Tree, how are you? You know, Kentucky, I just watched that recently. Somebody was rolling primer on a truck bed, and it was the Eastwood roll-on primer. Uh, I don't know if that primer has a catalyst in it. I don't believe it does, though. There could be an additive that I'm not aware of, but I did see that, and it did catch my attention. I didn't get to finish watching to see if it flowed well or anything like that, but funny you brought that up. I just watched a video on it recently. I use the Rust-Oleum self-etching primer at Rattle Can for all my bare metal. Very satisfied with the results. I like Rust-Oleum stuff, Auto. I use the filler primer, I believe it's called, to fill in the little boo-boos, you know, and it works good. The only thing I didn't like is I wish they had a fan spray on the Rust-Oleum primer that I was using. Now, they do have the fan spray on the paint I'm going to use, and the Spray Max 2K Clear has the fan spray, but their primer didn't, and I was a little bummed because then you almost start zebra stripe and you got to watch, you know what I mean? That new Buzz electric bus is supposed to be pretty good. I actually did a short video on that, Justin, just recently. They had one on Route 30 at Bud Smell, I think it was. I can't remember. And then it disappeared, and now another one's there. So somebody bought it pretty quick. Dave put a message up. Message retracted. Okay. Because I was asking him about the Eastwood primer that he used with the catalyst in it. I think it might have been an epoxy primer. So message retracted. Yep, use the filler primer too. Worked great. It does, Auto. It works perfect. Nice thick primer, but I wish that just had the fan spray. I really do. You got to keep that pattern closer together with it, going back and forth. So I'm looking forward to trying that paint. I'm going to try that in about a week. I'm just going to spray one of my fenders because it's driving me crazy. I need to see how it works. It's that Rust-Oleum 5 or 6-in-1 spray where you adjust the tip. It's driving me nuts. So I'm going to scuff a fender down that I have and spray it, and I'll do it on film. I want to see how it works. It's making me crazy. I'm going to have to get the garage pretty warm when I do that. Let me see here. I think it's an epoxy primer. Probably has something in it to help it float and even out, I bet. You may be right, Kentucky. Wow, Glenn, they start at 75 grand? Whew. I didn't know they were that high. There was no sticker for price on it when I did a short. If you look at my shorts, there's a short video. I'm 65 mile an hour down a highway, and I'm like, whoa. And I turned around and came back and filmed it real quick. Yes, epoxy primer, 2-part roll-on. Oh, okay, Dave. So that's the Eastwood 2-part roll-on. I didn't know that. I seen you use an epoxy spray-on by Eastwood. I thought that's what you were using, Dave. And it had where you smack the bottom to release the catalyst into it. Yep. Okay. All right. Did you like that? Are you happy? I watched your video, but off video. I mean, are you happy with the way it laid out and set up? Because I know they put a lot of good products out. The epoxy 2-part roll-on. I wished I'd have knew about that before I started priming the other parts, but I could probably try it. I did see a couple roll-on videos, and I'm like, wow. But then I kind of didn't want to look like a jerk rolling paint or primer on in videos and people going, oh, God, what's he doing now? So I kind of like being a guinea pig sometimes and doing stuff on video. And if anything, if it turns out crappy, then I look at the videos being a big comedy special, you know. But There's one at Three Rivers VW now, 62, that might be with all the incentives. Yeah, I didn't see a price on the one I was at, Justin. There was nothing. Kind of cool looking, but there was no price or nothing. And I didn't want to be attacked by a salesman and deal with all that, you know. And hi, Bob, how are you? Everything's going great, brother. I hope things are going good for you. And they have a high build primer also. Oh, I probably should go on their website, Dave, and see what all they have, because the hi, Greg, how you doing? I wanted to start testing some more of their products. Eastwood seems to have a lot. I've seen videos with Eastwood products, and it probably is their channel. I probably just never paid attention to whose channel it was. And they seem like they got some pretty nice stuff. I'm doing the Rust-Oleum just because it's Rust-Oleum and people like that, you know. Okay, all right, Dave. I thought it was their own channel. I just couldn't remember now. When I seen you use, I caught your video the one night it come on TV, and then I had to go to my phone to comment, because you know that's how it works. And I seen you using the 2-part with the catalyst, and I thought it was Eastwood you were using. I think you were spraying your dash. I'm almost positive. And I thought, that's funny. He's doing that. That's what I got to do. I've been avoiding doing the interior, and especially since I cut into my wiring harness. Yeah. I was putting the custom seats in, and I was cutting the factory seat rails out. And I actually wasn't on film doing that. I was just doing some stuff up the garage. I wanted the radio on. And I got my cutoff wheel and I zinged right along. Well, it didn't go that easy to get the factory floor pan channels off for the seats. And when I was done, I'm like, wow, that went pretty quick. And I looked and I sliced right into the wiring harness. I'm like, all right, so I'm going to have to open it up and repair the wires. Only me. Yeah, sprayed dash, rolled on bodywork. Yeah, I think what happened, Dave, is I caught a rolled on video, and I thought, I know there's been people that do, I don't know if you remember seeing this online, the roll-on Rust-Oleum paint jobs and that, and it's put on so thin, and then you have to keep building up. And I'm sure you caught one of them before, Dave, on YouTube. And I thought, I don't know if I want to roll on primer and be that guy that everybody's going, oh, geez, Slades rolling his primer on the car now instead of spraying it. So I never thought about doing it yet. I got a question. I've got a 2.5-inch drop spindles on my 67 bug. It came across an adjustable beam, not the narrow beam. Can I use that adjustable beam with spindles? Well, I don't see why not. I mean, if it's for the proper year. I had 2.5-inch drop spindles on a stock beam. It was fine. I just wished I would have had adjustable, but you don't have to have a narrowed beam in order to have an adjustable beam. I like the narrowed 2-inch. It's just so I can tuck them wheels in a little bit, but I don't really slam mine to the ground that low. You know, mine right now is an adjustable 2-inch narrowed drop spindle. That was a lot to say. I think it looks like good beam, but the only thing I caught the other day that was kind of disturbing is I happened to look down at my 2-inch narrowed beam, and I looked down and it looked like if I compressed the suspension up, you know, like if I lowered the car and all the weight was on it, the upper control arm looked like seriously close to the shock absorber. I don't know if it's an illusion or what, but I'm going to find out, that's for sure. Good, that means you have to do a video series on installing new wiring harness. Darren, it's crossed my mind. There was this guy, Darren, and he sent me on my wall a really nice big vinyl, thick vinyl image of a wiring diagram. I don't know if you know that guy or not, Darren. And thank you again, Darren. He's the one who sent it. But I cut into it, not real bad. And then I started looking at it. And my wiring harness, nobody ever messed with it. The wiring is factory, which you don't see much when it comes to older cars. Usually they look like spaghetti and somebody's grandfather spliced something in for their FM converter, and then it turns into a nightmare. I don't know where I came up with that. But I looked and thought, wonder if I should do the wiring harness while this thing's apart. So we'll see. I did the cutting wheel rep right up that wiring harness. I'm like, wow, really? So if that was on video, people would have had fun with that one. It's too bad I wasn't filming because I like showing when stuff like that happens. I did my, oh, okay. James had seen Bob Smith, but you might need to go with a narrow beam so you could tuck the fronts. Yeah, that's what I said, Justin. If he wants to tuck the wheels up in, depending on how low he's going to go, you know. Let me see. Harness for 250 would love to replace my stock wires. You know, a lot of people like that Rebel wires, Rebel wiring. I don't know. I never used them. And then they said, upgrade to the newer fuse box. And I don't know if I want to do that. I would probably use Wolfsburg West if I was going to go ahead and do a harness. That's just who everybody seems to use and love, you know. And really, there's not a lot of wires on these cars. So, I mean, shouldn't be horrifying, I don't think. They suggest 2 coats. I thought it was crazy too till I used it. Good stuff and no overspray. I got to dig back on your videos, Dave. I watched a couple the one night, and then laying in bed, I'm like, I didn't get to comment. Because I watch stuff on TV, and then I go to the next one. I do hit like, though. And I thought, well, I can't. They should make it where I can comment from my TV when I'm watching it. But I did see the roll on. I didn't know there was 2 coats, though. I just watched some guy do it real quick. And I thought, no, that is pretty cool, though. When you're rolling it, does it flow? Does it even out nice, Dave? I mean, because you've used it. I had so many questions when I was watching the video. I guess it was Eastwood to put it up, or some guy had a truck I seen at one point, but I was like apprehensive, like, ugh. Brandon's been rolling on box primers and this protective layer after OSFO. Seems to be working on his bus, considering there will be sanding and filler applied anyways. I'm tempted to copy. Apparently self-leveling. Okay. Yes, but it eventually needs to be sanded. And best place to buy OSFO, cheapest. Everything went crazy there. Let me answer Kevin real fast there. Kevin, I'll be honest with you. I bought mine at a local Ace Hardware, my OSFO. And it goes a long, far way. If you were near me, I would have just gave you some. I have a gallon of it. Yeah, I figured it would be self-leveling, Greg, but I wasn't sure about that. And you're right, you end up sanding and doing stuff anyhow with it. I mean, yes, eventually needs to be sanded. Right, exactly. Even the Rust-Oleum filler primer is what I call it. Man, that stuff, I sprayed it on like you would normally spray. I didn't overlap like crazy. And I happened to run my hand across it today when I was up there messing with the sunroof and adjusting it. Man, that filler primer's thick. I don't know how to describe it to you. I can just tell, not that I'm an expert, is it felt really thick when I was rubbing my hand over it. Excuse me. Hey, come here. Cat just scared me. It's under my desk. Yeah, check your local Ace Hardware, Kevin. That's where I bought mine. And I think it was 20 or 3 or 25 for the gallon of it. That stuff goes far, though. Like, I've only got like that much missing out of my gallon, and I sprayed the crap out of it. Great part is no overspray. Oh, Dave, I agree 100%, in all honesty. I mean, that's the only thing is the overspray, because I was going to start like Dave did. I got to get my dash done, my door pillars. I got to get that stuff out of the way. And when Dave was doing it, I actually remember talking to the TV, and I'm like, was you reading my mind? Because I got to get that done. And then I looked up at my headliner, and I'm like, ugh, I guess I better work from top to bottom with spraying, because my headliner is pretty decent. So I thought I'll re-dye it. That would be a great video. And come here, honey. Somebody just dug in my leg. She's attacking me. I think she's bored. But I thought with all the overspray, if I start spraying the headliner and I already had the dash done, we know where that's going to go. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do the headliner. But you're right, Dave. That's a real great part. No overspray. And I'm in the wintertime. So in the wintertime, that's not going to be fun because I'm used to putting a exhaust fan in the window. But all my exhaust fan will be doing over the wintertime is pulling the heat out. Dave said Amazon. Yeah, check Amazon, Kevin, to see what it's like for their pricing. But if you have an Ace near you, then give them a call and ask how much it is a gallon, so you don't have to wait or something happens. Classic Fab makes thick, good-fitting floor pans painted green. Hey, you know what, Bill, Mr. Kirkpatrick? Funny you said that. Either I'm being stupid with their website, but when I went on there, I forget what I went on there for. It was a body panel or something, brother. I went on there, but it only seemed like it was older Beetles, like 50s and early 60s, maybe. Am I just like messing up when I'm on their website, or do they not handle later 60s, early 70s body panels? Maybe they don't. I don't know. And Tim said, I'm currently using Speed Coat DTM Primer off Amazon. Worked pretty well on the rusty Gia I'm restoring. Well, that's a good tip. That's something to look into. Speed Coat. I thought I've heard of them before. I may have. Are you shooting that through a gun, Tim? Or is that rattle can? Lily, please. And support your local Ace Hardware. Heather likes Ace Hardware. I go to the one near me right down the street when I got to exchange, an HVLP gun. Okay. Emil, how are you? And I hope I pronounced that right. I'd have to use an LVLP gun, Tim, because I have a 21-gallon compressor. I wonder if I'm all over the place here tonight. I have my 21-gallon Aces the place. Dave sound like a commercial there. I was wondering something, and I don't know. I have a 21-gallon compressor, 175 psi, blah blah blah. I was wondering. Oh, okay, Tim. I was reading your other message there. If I was doing small sections, I wanted to test something out. I watched Underground Paint King on YouTube, and he uses an LVLP gun with a 30-gallon tank, and he said even down to 21-gallon, low volume, low pressure. I have a really nice HVLP gun, and I was thinking, which is dangerous, with a 21-gallon tank HVLP gun that I have, I wanted to test it maybe with, you got a 60-gallon. Oh, I was wondering if I did like a Fender, small sections with a 21-gallon tank, if it would work with the HVLP. I don't know. I just don't want to buy another compressor right now. Like I said, if you were in here earlier, I was in Tractor Supply because Heather goes in there for some of her clothing for working outside, stuff like that. And I says, I'll be back, which is never a good sign because I have a Tractor Supply card in my wallet, and I'm looking at the compressors like, ooh. But then I left. I hurried up and left the store. I ran like a child out to the truck. But I would like to have a bigger compressor eventually. But I watched a guy use the LVLP gun, excuse me, and he had a smaller compressor. It was a 30-gallon or maybe clear down to a 21. And it worked. He nailed it. He really, really did. Let me see. Got mine on FB Marketplace used for about 200. Well, that was actually a good deal for a 60-gallon. Wow. And David said, somebody I know is working on my 67 Beetle. Excuse me. He got a pair of front fenders, but they look different. One is wider. Whoops, my screen just jumped. One is wider than the other one. Perhaps the wider one is a cheap reproduction fender. Well, they do make wider fenders, Dave. Like you can buy 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch wider. A lot of times those are fiberglass, though. So it shouldn't be exactly, trying to scroll. When you said wider, is it just a teensy bit wider, or is it like, can you tell it's exactly an inch wider or 2 inch wider? That could be an aftermarket one that somebody bought intentionally wider and then it got mixed up, with yours. I'm coming over to Florida from the UK next. I need a pair of cylinder heads. Might sneak some into my luggage, as they seem to be cheaper to buy over there. Yeah, I don't know the prices from the UK. I talked to a lot of folks overseas, and yeah, I guess the parts are more expensive there, sadly, and then the shipping, and I'm sure there's a time frame that takes longer. My buddy Philippe lives in Belgium. I'm not sure where he gets all his parts, though. To tell you the truth, I never thought about asking that. Otto used an HVLP with 21 gallon, paid a rear trailing arm, struts, and some other stuff. Compressor had to run a bit. Yeah, Otto, that's what I was thinking. I know that it would probably have to run a lot. I Because my brain went to, well, it's a Beetle. I can spray a fender, take my time, spray another fender. That's what's kind of cool about these cars is you can almost paint them in sections. And I did give it consideration. I thought, maybe I'll get a couple quarts of Rust-Oleum like I did on the first Beetle on there. If you remember the red Beetle I did on YouTube in the beginning. But my buddy come over with his 30-gallon compressor he brought with him, and that's what we sprayed with. And Lily going on. And I have a 21-gallon, which Heather bought for me. I did a video on that. That's the first time I filmed in a store. And they let me. Well, I kind of did it and asked if it was okay after I did it. But and that's where they messed up the pricing. I'm filming in Harbor Freight, literally walking around. And hey, Robert, how are you? And I filmed in Harbor Freight. We went for a compressor. I saw the video. They forgot to take their sell prices off. And I was like, okay, well, too bad. I want the sell price now. And of course, I was very courteous, but then the manager got involved. He had to come fix it in the register. So it was kind of a fun video. I don't really film going into stores, but I was just in the mood that day. And I'm like, come on, want to go to Harbor Freight with me? And Heather likes going there. So it was kind of fun. I never did a video like that before. So, and let me see, cheapest is $377. Oh, well, Neil, it depends on what you said. $377. What heads are you buying? Because that isn't too bad, depending on what the head is, though. I've got an 80-gallon. Oh, it just conked out. Okay, I didn't see that part. Just humming when I turn it on, waiting after New Year to try to diagnose. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's a big compressor. An 80-gallon? Yeah, I'd be in my glory with something like that. So do you think they can do some metal works to match the shape? The curve looks really different. To tell you the truth, Dave, just be careful. You may want to grab another fender, to be honest with you, the one that's too wide or the one that's not wide enough, depending on the situation. Because by the time, if you're paying somebody to start shaping and playing around, you may be better off just buying a pair of fenders, in all honesty, and selling what you have. It's just a thought. Mel Cuckin from Oklahoma, thank you for posting amongst the best VWs out there. Thank you. There's lots of great creators and videos out there, but I appreciate you saying that. I try the best that I can. You know what I mean? I'm not a pro with the camera, that's for sure, but I do what I can do. But thank you so much. That was a very kind comment. What color are you going to paint your Beetle Slade? John, how you doing, buddy? I thought of you today, for real, because I wanted to do a short on the valve cover tool, and I was up there, and then my phone was on 3% on the battery, and I'm like, so I want to do a short on that, in all honesty. It is absolutely 100%. I already got the paint and all. It's going to just be a gloss white and the chrome trim, of course. Interior will be black and white with a salt and pepper colored carpet because I just prefer that carpeting all the time. The straight up black carpet shows so much lint constantly, but that's what I actually finally decided on, in all honesty. 1600, I imagine you meant DP, dual port. If they're factory stock heads with brand new valves and the whole schmill, new springs, I don't know the going prices lately, though. That might be a little on the higher side, but it seems like the prices have went up on everything, literally across the board. And from what I understand, I was talking to a vendor recently privately, and I think this coming year the prices could possibly go up even higher. So doing the Volkswagens isn't a joke no more. This isn't like when we were younger. You go pick up a running motor for $300 off of the guy up the street. Them days are gone. Magically, though, the Beetles, the buses are crazy in price, but the Beetles they've gone up in price a lot now. They really have. I love them, even if the prices go up on certain things. Oh well. I really, really love the Beetles. I'll never stop, I'm moving up to a 26 gallon because 21's on its way out. But being an old unit, it has a good regulator and fast replenish time. The new one will be much quieter. Just hope it's as fast. Yeah, you know what, Glenn? Mine's loud because I was blowing out some carburetors that I did recently, and it kicked on, and I was filming, and I literally just stopped and waited because it is loud. There's no doubt about that. I've considered, if I stay where I'm living, I wanted to build a little small addition onto the garage to put my compressor in there and a couple of other things just to cut down on the noise, and I can bring the hose in through the wall, from the addition. But you're right, that some of them can get a little loud. The ones I seen, what's the yellow compressors? I can't remember the brand that Tractor Supply had. They had some really nice compressors. I'd actually have to get a hold of my buddy Justin here to pick it up. I mean, it wasn't going in the back of my Grand Cherokee, or maybe it would. It would. They're pretty heavy though. But they were yellow. I can see them. I can't remember the brand. They were a good brand too. They weren't cheap though. Let me see. Oh, message retracted. I just went to read Greg's. I missed it. But they had they're yellow. I don't want to be looking while I'm trying to, do that. But let me see here. No, I can't. Oh, it was, yeah, DeWalt. That's probably what it was. They, DeWalt's a Tractor Supply. They weren't cheap, but I wonder if they were Ingersoll Rand. They were yellow with the black lettering. Everybody's saying DeWalt and then Ingersoll Rand. I'm almost thinking it was Ingersoll Rand now. I can't remember. But honestly, they were big. I thought, oh, I want to take one home so bad. But then I didn't want to, put it on a credit card, $1,200 or whatever it was. Lifting underneath for a good look for corrosion and regular maintenance, but jack stands are pretty low. Thoughts on two-piece full-length folding lifts that hit 24 inches lifting points too limiting? Thane, I never messed around with the lifts before. I know that they're always really nice to have. I got 6-ton jack stands because they go a lot higher. My son actually bought me them because he had heard that some jack stands were breaking and letting loose, and they could have been Harbor Freight. I can't remember. And the next thing you know, he showed up with 6-ton jack stands for the Beetle. But they go really high, a lot higher than whatever I had. 2-ton, like, I don't really remember the jack stands I had. I think they were from Advance Auto or something, but you can get jack stands that go a lot higher. But if you can get a lift, that's great. I mean, honestly, 24 inches, I mean, truthfully, that's, yeah, that's getting it up there pretty high, in all honesty. Uh, my compressors outside the shop makes a big difference in noise. Shop plus one layer of insulation on the wall. Yeah, and see, Kentucky, that's what I wanted to do. Just a small addition, just to put the compressor in there. A couple other things I had ideas for. It would just take the noise out of there and give me a little more space in my garage too, honestly. The hard freight jack stands were breaking. Okay, Bob, I thought it was. And I didn't want to nail a company, but yeah, I thought it was. I just wasn't positive. And now that I have the 6-ton stands, they go really high. They're really, really nice. So yeah, $377 for stock standard heads if I buy one here, compared to $210 for the same head in the US. So easy to say I might be coming home with less clothes and shoes. Yeah, I haven't checked the prices lately, so I didn't know. I was looking at CB Performance's Panchito heads. I hear a lot of good about them, and not that I need them right now because I got my motor on a stand that's done. But I really, really wanted to get a set of Panchito heads. Maybe I'll do it for Heather's car. Although I'm putting the stroker motor in her car when it's done, and I'm doing a different one for mine. But I want to try the Panchito heads. I imagine they have probably went up in price. But everybody that I talked to said the CB Performance Panchito heads flow really well. And we all know here that the heads make or break the game. You know, how they breathe. I watched a guy recently take the Panchito heads and a Dremel, and he started doing a little bit of, playing around with them. I don't know if he had the proof or could verify that there was an improvement even over that, what he did. But the Panchito heads, good night, Tim. Thanks for chiming in, brother. I hope to see you soon. The Panchito heads, I forget the price. They're probably up there decently high. But from everybody I talked to that have bought them, they're like really, really nice. Like you notice a difference, from them. But one thing I use my 60-gallon compressor is painting since I replaced many of the air tools with battery operated. Yeah, that's funny, Scott. A lot of my tools now that were air tools in the past are battery powered. Mostly my Milwaukee gun. I have a Milwaukee ratchet, stuff like that. And they've come a long way with those, in all sincerity. I have a big DA up there for compressor, but I didn't plug it into my 21-gallon because, I don't think it would like it very much. It would just run nonstop. Or Panchitos really help with performance. That's what I heard, Uncle Bon. I mean, is CB Performance near you, Uncle Bon? I was wondering where you're. I know where you're at, but I wasn't sure where they are. But the Panchito heads really are supposed to really up your performance nicely. I wouldn't even mind doing like a 1600 cc with a mild cam, Panchito heads, some dual 34s, nothing crazy big, some nice breathing headers. I don't like light and flywheels on small motors, but I thought something like that would be a good combination as a daily driver with a little extra oomph for climbing hills and that, since there's a lot of hills where I live, I think Darren and Kevin can both tell you about the hills near me because they were here, and Dave was here too for the picnic that we had. I'm looking forward to this year's picnic. I was just camping up there. Well, I was at a cabin up there with Heather in November, and we rode over again and looked at the pavilion and the parking lot, and it's just so pretty there. July 12th is the date this year for the get together, and I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, the Panchito heads though, I've heard a lot of good. I haven't priced them lately since everything kind of went up. I'm hoping this coming year that prices fall a lot, but always seems to, I can't either, Dave. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I'm excited about it. Uh, I was talking to somebody the other day online, a buddy of mine, and yeah, thank you, Uncle Bon. I thought it was not far from you, but I could be wrong. Uh, Somebody was saying something about sticky prices. One of my buddies I talked to out west, and he had said even if gas drops down a lot, food and products have sticky prices. I kind of looked at that as gouging, like price gouging. If if you raised your product, whether it be food or car parts, what have you, clothing, everything has went up. Well, you raised them because your excuse for raising them, a bigger part of it was because gas went up, truck drivers needed more money. I get that part, to make the deliveries, so on and so on and so on. Well, if gas comes back down, obviously deliveries, I think, would lower automatically. I believe they would if gas is cheaper, because that was the excuse for raising them. I don't understand how food and a lot of stuff has sticky prices. Don't make sense to me. But hey, Slade, been away for a while in Japan. Wow. Japan. Missed some live chats. Any suggestions to just camber on a link pin? I don't know, to be honest with you. And Japan, get home. What are you doing? You caught me off guard, Raul. I don't know with the link pin. I've not messed around with them. I've always had 68 and up. So that I'm not sure of. I wished I could answer that for you, but I can't, unfortunately. Shareholders like making money, hence the sticky prices. Well, yeah, and I'm not trying to get into a whole thing. I probably shouldn't have did that, but I thought, sticky prices, come on, really? I mean, if gas is starting to go down, and it will, well, then yeah, I think everything else needs to come down with it, because that was the reasoning for raising the prices. But if fuel prices come down, we will have more money to pay the high price of everything. Yeah, it's probably how they're looking at it. Look at motor oil. There was a sticky price. Yeah. Steve Furman says a 3-hour drive and good drive more central. Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know, Uncle Bon. Every time I see California, I think, oh, Uncle Bon's right there. But I realize the state's pretty big. That was my stupidity. Oh, you're welcome, Earl. I'm sorry. If I could give you any, but you know what? If you post it on the Facebook group, yeah, there's a lot of LinkedIn guys on there. Somebody will answer you pretty fast on that, in all honesty. Yeah, Uncle Bon, every time there's something in California, I'm always like, oh, my buddy lives right near it probably. But I got to realize that California is not just 60 minutes wide. You know what I mean? I always forget about that. But I'm hoping if fuel prices come down, that some of our stuff comes down. But I don't know. It's so hard to tell. When he was telling me, he does something with marketing and stuff like that, and he said with cost of gas always corporate and government controlled. Yeah, you're right, Uncle Bon. There ain't no doubt about that. He said, yeah, food has sticky prices. This does, that does. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Sticky prices to me just means greed, because if you utilize that in the beginning by saying, hey, folks, I got to make milk $5 a gallon now because gas is high, the feed's higher for the farmers, the delivery went up high because of the fuel cost. Well, then when it all comes down, then all of our stuff should come back down. But sadly, it don't. I was kind of hoping VW parts prices would start to come down if we could alleviate that problem a little bit. I don't think we're ever going to see cheap prices again. I mean, I doubt it, you know what I mean? But hopefully not. I just wish the drones would quit flying around, but that's a whole different story. But it's hopeful for a new good year. That's what I'm counting on, because I want to get my car done this spring. And then I'll get Heather's in the garage and pull the body, because I never did a on film pull the body. So that ought to be some interesting videos pulling the body off. I'll get some enjoyment out of filming that and doing the chassis on the ground. I I just find it exciting, as odd as it sounds, uh, to do a chassis right on the ground on film. It's so easy to film that way, and you can get a little more precise with doing things, without the body on it. Probably paying to dispose of Tesla batteries on the gas tanks. Dogs are saying it's time to go, and they roll this home. Good night, all. Good night, Glenn. Thank you very much for being here. I'll be knocking off here momentarily anyhow. Thank you so much. Are you going to use TMI for the carpet? Yes, I am, Dale. I already have it. I have the salt pepper mix TMI carpeting. I used it on my first project online, and that's what I'm going to use again. I have never had a problem with TMI. I know a lot of people say use So Fine, and they are good. So Fine, make no mistake, that is very good quality. But for me, a daily driver, I'm not building a show car. I'm building a driver. And that's why I'm doing the Rust-Oleum with the clear coat over it and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to use TMI carpeting, which is fine. I've used it. I kind of thought the quality was really nice, and the fit was perfect when I did the Super Beetle. I like them. So Fine is very nice. I think it costs more, and I really just don't see a reason for it. Although maybe So Fine has more colors, maybe, which is a high possibility. But yeah, the salt and pepper, Dale, I love it. The only reason I didn't do the black on the last one is because a buddy of mine did the black carpeting in his Baja, and he wasn't even using it for off road. But I had looked, and he said, "What a nightmare!" Like the black carpeting, you could just see the little white lint everywhere constantly. And one thing about the salt and pepper, I don't know, it looks gray, but the salt and pepper just was perfect. Like you don't see the lint, you don't see anything on it. It's just a really nice color. I really like it a lot. I wanted to initially do the car in the very beginning. I wanted to do it white or black, but I wanted a red interior. I've wanted that so bad. And I started pricing red. Like the door panels now we custom make. Heather makes them custom. So that doesn't bother me. But the seats being red, the carpet being red, like everything was really a lot more money. You're building a tire melter. Not like you are, though, because I seen you already melt the tire. Uncle Vaughn, I'm excited for you. He picked up a 72 El Camino. He's not done with Volkswagens yet, but he did get rid of Herbie, and he picked up you have to check out his channel. He had did a 72 El Camino, and that car is going to be a lot of fun. That is really going to be. I'm looking forward. I need to get in on it somehow in a video with him, and I haven't figured out how yet. I've always been drawn to lost cause projects. I end up spending much more dollars and time than I could ever get back. I guess I'll take solace in saving a piece of history and enjoying the time in the garage. Yeah, you know what, Greg? I've been down that alley 300 times. I spend so much more than I will ever get returned. And then again, you got Clinton involved. You have a young son who really admires his dad. He enjoys, being in the garage goofing around with you like that. He's good on video. So I get it. I've done that where I spend. I enjoy the hobby and I love being in the garage. And I'm like, well, I definitely can never get that type of money back now. So I know what you mean. I got my engine broke in this afternoon with a buddy who has an engine stand, the starter, etc. 1968 cc. Oh, that's awesome, Scott. Yeah, breaking in an engine's exciting and nerve-wracking. When you're breaking in a brand new motor, the cam, and 2,000 RPM for 30 years, it's like, oh, don't blow up on me. I don't like breaking in motors. I don't mind breaking in my own, and if something goes wrong, well, then that's my problem. But when somebody says, you want to come over and help me get my motor broken, I'm like, ugh, I don't like doing that with somebody else. Bob, you still have your Herbie. I think she meant Bon, Uncle Bon. No, he had actually went ahead and sold that, and he picked up a 72 El Camino. Although Uncle Bon, I'm sure he'll chime in a moment here, he's considering getting a bus down the road. They're really expensive. I can't do a bus. I wished I could, but they're not cheap. Apologies if you've talked about the Ever heater, but how are you getting on with it? I haven't ran it yet because, I ran it on video. They're great. Make no mistake. I mean, it don't have to be Vever. There's the other brands too. They're all about the same as one another. But honestly, they're nice. I make no mistake, you won't be sorry if you buy a diesel heater for the garage. They do work good. I just took my little break around Christmas that I always do, so I haven't really been running it now. And never apologize. You're asking a question. That's perfectly fine. I miss Beetles now, especially when in Santa Monica checking out a few clean ones. Oh, I bet you do, Uncle Bon. I got to call you. I was getting holidays out of the way because you and I in text were discussing a couple things real quick about the Bon, I have some ideas for you. And then if you don't like them and go, no, that's fine. But I have some ideas for you with your channel. Let me see. I was late tonight, but how is the Matilda project? We haven't started there yet, Greg, because I have a one-car garage, brother. So as soon as mine's done, which will be in about, what are we in? Oh, December, January, February, March, April. Yeah, April, 4 to 5 months. Then I'll be getting Matilda in and pulling the body off of that. After the car is bought, it's nothing to drop 4,000. Oh, money goes so quick. And John, I always budget like, okay, this is what I'm going to spend. And I'll sit there with a paper and a pad like a child. I'm always off by 3, 4, 5 grand. I do that all the time. Dang, just saw the carpet on TMI and it's really affordable. 211.19 7-piece. Yeah, I haven't priced it in a while, Raul. I'm talking to Jack of all trades, Raul. I haven't priced that in a while, to be honest with you. I don't know what it was when I got it. I've had my carpet for, I forget, year and a half, something like that. I've had it a while. Bunch show up in FB Marketplace. Yeah, they do actually. Marketplace, I try to stay off of there. I get myself in trouble. Fortunately, I don't. I'm looking for a bay window bus. Yeah, the buses, they're out of my league, at least on the East Coast, Popular contest, where do you live in Kelly? I'm in Santa Barbara. And email, right, it's gone 3:45 a.m. I better. That's right, 3:45 there. I better go before I kicked out of bed. Bye. Bye, Emil. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Yeah, and that's the thing, John. It's I always think I nailed it. I get this whole list ready and I'll $4,000. I'll be done. This thing will be perfect. It can be scored on Amelia Island. No, I always end up $10,000. I did that video 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. I can't remember because I had 2 different people bring it up. Then I says, all right, I'll do a video on that. And it was how much does it cost to restore a Beetle in 2024 with current pricing. And I forget what I came up with. I think about 10 grand. And it is really hard when you're filming. I'm sure Uncle Bon, Greg, Dave, a lot of people that film, it's sometimes I'll film and when I'm all done and I'm done editing the video, I'm like, oh crap, I forgot about A, B, and C. I came in at 10,000 and here there was 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 comments, I can't remember, that said, hey, Slade, you forgot about this, you forgot about that. And I like that. I like when people come into comments and go, hey, why don't you try this or that? I love that. I don't know everything. Nobody does, really. But honestly, it's amazing how we can come up with a what we think is a realistic figure, and we are so far off. By the time we're done, we're like, oh man, I could have bought one cheaper. Let me see here. Boom, boom, boom. Let me catch up. Thanks, Tim. Thank you very much. I try to get creative with some of the videos, something different. Sometimes I'll put the wrenches down and just do something unique, like how much does it cost to do this? What's the difference between a super and a standard Beetle? I'll do different things sometimes, also to give me a break in the garage just for a couple of days, you know. Uh, Uncle Bon is in Gardena. And hey, Bob, how you doing, buddy? And Darren says good night. Good night, Darren. I'll be heading out here in a few moments anyhow. And how you doing, Ken? And I hope you are all feeling better now, Bob. I really do, because I believe that hit my area now. A couple people I know got sick over the last 3-4 days with it. Lily, and come here, honey. Come here. Come. 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 Give me it. Let it go. She's taking the cat's toys. She's doing it because I'm on here. Hopefully you're doing well now. I believe you were healing up. A lot of people got smacked, I don't know, over the last couple of weeks, getting sick. You know, it's that time of the year, which we know, you know, but I don't like getting sick. It ain't fun anymore, especially as I get older. There are wheeler and dealers and flippers that seem to be able to make money on projects. I'm no good at that. It's not why I'm in the hobby. Just trying not to go too far into debt. Oh, I agree, Greg. There are some people that, I don't know. You are right. Wheelers and dealers and flippers. Brother, you put that perfect, because some of these guys pick up a Beetle, dump $2,000 into it. They paid $1,000 for the car and they're selling it for 10. Like, wow. But I'm just in it for the hobby and the passion. I've liked playing with these cars. It was something from my youth, you know, in the garage, you know, with my dad, et cetera, you know, learning how to work on them. And to me, it's a hobby. But you're right. Just trying to not go too far into debt. I screwed up on that part. I'm not good with money. I'm a child. I'm irresponsible. People think, wow, he must do pretty good. Look what he's doing. No, I'm stupid. We have the stomach bug now. We've had sinus infection. Yeah, there's a lot going around. And it is the time of the year. In all sincerity, you know, there's a lot of people I know sick right now. And me, as I get older, you know, I am getting older. I try to play it off when I'm sick and I act like I'm fine and I keep going about my day. But man, when I was a young man, like everybody, you know, young ladies, young men, man, when you're younger, you can get sick and still go to work and do stuff. Now it's like when I get sick, I'm like a child laying on the couch, oxygen on, the whole thing. I can't, I don't use oxygen, but I can't handle it like I did when I was younger. Maybe it's normal, you know. Yeah, Lisa, I knew you guys were all sick there. I don't know how I knew now. Um, I don't know if you messaged me or comment. No, I can't remember. You believe that? I hope everybody gets better. I really do. We're feeling great now. Birthday tomorrow. Whose birthday tomorrow, Bob? Is it Vicky's? Or wait, did Vicky just have a birthday? I can't remember. This getting older thing's kind of weird. Yeah, that Herbie build got pricey with pricing parts, the engine swap and paint. I spent around 30 in 5-year period. Oh, Uncle Bon, it don't take long. And it's sad because I kind of watched what was going on with you were getting it worked on. And that's why I said to you one time, and I don't think you took it wrong. You know I love you to death. When I said I wished I was closer, I'd have liked to got my hands on your car and worked on it for you. Sometimes you were spending money, like, you know, well, the brake drum thing, that was getting nuts. I mean, one after another, and it's just I wished I was closer. I would have definitely helped you out. Then you'd have been filming me. It's a fine line between doing it right and doing it cheap. Everyone has their own standards. Oh, Tim, I agree. That was very well put. I don't do mine cheap. I use good quality parts, like especially with the braking system and that, that deal. But if I can cut a corner sometimes on something, as long as it doesn't cause a safety issue and it fits right. But usually, like my father always said, and Heather says it constantly about everything, she says, you get what you pay for. I think that's why she goes to Macy's and buys stuff, and then she uses that saying against me. So, I did too, Lisa. I liked his Herbie. I did. Thursday was excluding labor. Ugh. Yeah, that. Oh, yours, Bob. For some reason, I thought it was Vicky. I have on my Facebook, there's it's some type of birthday tab. And I try to click it every day or two so I don't miss nobody's birthday because I always feel rude about it then, But and then I hurry up and go to their wall real fast. Could have swore somebody's was just the other day that I knew though. Some put money in cars, some spent it on Barstool, who has more to show for it. Now that was a good way of putting it, honestly. I mean, I don't drink. I probably drink like 3 beers a year. Like, well, come to the point where Heather said I'm not allowed to buy beer anymore if it's cold because I can't put it in the fridge because I put it in there and then it just sits in there forever. So I like being just in my own right mind. That's a scary place to begin with. The last ski avert I restored was over 30,000. That was labor also. Oh, I believe it, Rob. I mean, especially Gias. That's nothing to play around with. That's I love Gias. I really, really do. The ones by me are just they're fried. If you find one, throat's getting dry. If you find one, cheap bottle that's done, it's just ridiculous what they want for them. I can't afford it. And I'm not borrowing money, to buy one. All my kids have birthdays 22nd, 28th, and 5th. My sons, their birthdays are January 5th and January 12th. And then my one daughter is March 23rd. Heather's is coming up in March also. My other daughter's November. So it's like we get hit like November, January, March, another one in January. And then after that, it's clear sailing until the following Christmas. Speaking of Herbie, I got my nice 66. Oops, wait, my screen jumped. I hate when that happens. There we go. Converted already, 1776. Ken, that's a great size motor. The 1776. Oh, good night, Dave. I just caught that now. I don't know if you're still on, brother. I hope you have a great, great New Year's Eve and a safe one. If you're like me, you'll be in your PJs, hanging out, watching TV. Thanks for coming in, Dave. I always appreciate you. The 1776 is a dependable motor, just like stock. So that is what I wanted initially, was just 90.5 pistons, mild cam. Hopefully you get a good deal on that, in all honesty. Let me see. Good night, Dave. Good night, Kev. Gia parts are sometimes Gia specific and cost too much. Oh, Rob, I agree 100%. No doubt. And they're nice though. They're so nice. After Heather's car is done, Heather's car is not going to take long because I don't have to paint it. She likes the color. So long story short, I wanted to do a Gia after Heather's, but I may do a Porsche 356 kit car is what I'm really considering if I can get a decent deal on a body. I'm working on Friday 69 Gia right now. Never realized how hard body work was going to be a driver, not a shower for sure. Oh, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. I won't ever own a Gia or restore another. Yeah, they're expensive to play with, Rob. And Tim, that's the thing. And people will get to see the 68 Chaos. Sure hope it wasn't a mistake naming it that. At the picnic in July that I'm having. Some are going to look at it and go, Slade, that is a cool car. Or some are going to look and go, well, I see a little crease here or there. And I don't care really what people think because I do videos to help people. and I do it for fun because I enjoy it, and I do it to build cars, and I build drivers. Heather's is going to be a driver. Now, I will say the kit car that I do, yeah, it'll be a driver, but it'll be a show car. That one, I want to just take my time. That'll be the following summer, 2026, because Heather's is only going to be a 5 or 6 month stint and it'll be done. But I want to do a kit car, but I will take my time and pristine it because it won't be driven all the time. But I like drivers. And to me, we are supposed to drive these cars. I'm not worried about a little chip or something here or there, you know. Did you see the 2025 Gia concept on YouTube? No, I didn't see that yet, but I'll be punching it in when I'm done here tonight because it'll bring me crazy now. I think the Gias are, they're just really cool. I like them. I had one briefly, but I didn't feel like it. It was too far gone. So it made good parts for somebody else. But honestly, I think the Gias were very unique. The only crap part is that it isn't like you can pop a fender off and change it. You know what I mean? But I think they're great, but you have to have a lot of patience and skill if you want that body perfect. I think that probably most of the Gias in my area, the Rust Belt, are probably a lot of Bondo. They'd have to be, you know, in my area at least. You guys got it made down south and out west because you have a better chance at getting, just like the fastback. If anybody's seen that video when me and Heather looked at it on that trailer, I was really excited to look like a cool patina. The body probably didn't have barely any mud. Original faded paint. And when I looked at the underneath, the frame head was all rotted out. Back where behind the engine, I don't know what to call the back on it. It was all rotted out really bad. And I'm like, oh. And Heather was excited. And too, because it was full automatic. She can drive a stick, but she thought it was unique. My area stinks for stuff like that. I'll be driving when I have keys again. We'll get that taken care of, Lisa. That's not a problem. I seen the 2025 Beetle truck video, but I think it was just something that someone put together and not really going to be made. I don't know if I seen that, Ken. I can't remember now, to be honest with you. I seen a couple things recently where people said, look at the new Beetle they're doing, and look at this and look at that. And then when I really started concentrating on it and focusing, it was AI. Somebody was playing with AI and kind of did a silly thing. And I thought, no, don't do that, because I seen a lot of people comment and going, oh my goodness, I can't wait to see the outcome. And I'm thinking, I didn't say nothing because I'm not a rude person like that to ruin somebody's fun, so to speak. But it was AI. I was like, wow. First, it got me the first few minutes. I'm like, wow, is that cool? Because I always appreciate watching other people's work. I'm like that. I'm not all got to be Slade doing it. No, I like watching everybody's work. I think that everybody has their own type of skills, and I enjoy that. That's what makes the world go round, is all these different channels. But the dude was doing AI, and I'm like, really, man? Like, what are you going to do for the follow-up video? So maybe he just did it to be funny. You know what I mean? But I better rock and roll here. I'm a little wore out, to be honest with you. This holiday, the last 6-7 days altogether, blew me out. Heather's tired. I know she's wore out. And I'm going to have a snack and sit with her a little bit. But I really hope, let me see, what's the date here? Oh, New Year's Eve is Tuesday. I couldn't remember. I'll have my video up probably. Heather's going to help me with the video. She'll be in it. That video will be up Tuesday around noon, New Year's Eve. It'll be my year in review of, you know, what I did for the whole year 2024. And you'll see little wee snippets of each video throughout the year. And of course, Heather will be in it. So I'm sure she'll bully me or make fun of me or do something stupid, but that's Heather. She means well. But Happy New Year. The classic Beetle copy with a twin turbo. Oh, twin turbo would be fun. I never ran a turbo yet. I wouldn't really mind. My buddy Justin got a supercharger. If I have the money, it'd be sitting here because I will try that once. But everybody, Happy New Year. The new video will be out Tuesday, New Year's Eve around noon, if you have time to watch it. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas. I had to jump on tonight because this is family, is what this is. And I hope everybody had an amazing one. Everybody that's sick, blessings to you. I hope you feel better quickly. Keep your hands washed. That's all the advice I have with that. But Happy New Year. I love all you folks. Thank you for being here so much. I really, really appreciate it. And Tuesday, the new video will be out, and we will continue as normal. Have a great New Year's. Please don't drink and drive New Year's Eve. Stay home if you have to, or rent an Uber. Everybody, have a great one, and I'll see you soon. I appreciate it.